Rob, you've had a week or so to recharge the batteries, you and the squad in the whole, but now it's crunch time and Wasps this weekend.
Yeah, that's right. And I think it's been ideal for us, really. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to say we wouldn't have liked to be in the semi-final. Of course we would. We worked extremely hard to try and get there, and we came up a little bit short. But it's like anything, you take every advantage you can in sport. And obviously, the first weekend off we've had this season was probably a bit of a welcome break, probably mentally as much as anything else for the players and the staff. And I think the results of how we've trained this week have shown that we're back and we're ready to go. Because the truth is we can run around it as much as we like. We're in the top four now. We're potentially 2 games away from winning the Premiership, and I'm not going to be afraid about talking about that. I mean, we don't really hear Exeter. We like to talk about our next step and the next stage and where we want to be. Well, we've knocked off being in the top 6 this season, which is fantastic. We've knocked off being in the top 4 this season, which is fantastic. We've only really got 2 goals left now. One of them's getting a home semi-final and the other's winning the Premiership, and I think now we should make sure that the way we play and the way we train should show that that's what we're going after.
You talk about learning lessons. What did you learn from that Wasps game up there in the quarter-final?
Well, really, that if you lay everything on the line as we did that day, you've still also got to be accurate in everything you do. Wasps will say the same when they review the game. And everyone knows there were probably 3-4 momentum-changing moments in that game that really hurt us when we were points up. We worked extremely hard to get to where we were. And like I say, a couple of small moments really turned the momentum of the game, and even then, even at that stage, we were fighting pretty hard, and like I say, we come up 1 tackle short or 1 kick short, and we haven't done too much wrong. And I think that's what we've learned, and that's what we focused on, is that you've got to be able to play at high intensity. You've got to lay a lot of physicality on the pitch and a lot of energy. But while that is going on in the hurly-burly, you've got to do your job really accurately, and you've got to do the next thing that happens right in front of you. And if you do that, you can come through the big games. Because the truth is, everyone's going to be up for these games now. Wasps will come down here; they'll be up for the game. They could secure a home semi-final by beating us. So, we've got to know that we've got to at least match that, and then we've got to be better. We've got to be more accurate, and we've got to get our detail right when all that's going on out on the pitch.
There's a real buzz around the camp, you say, with the A-League result as well on Monday. It's got everyone buzzing again. Excuse the pun. A nice time. I
think it's interesting having these A-League games and just getting through the semi-final and the final has worked really well for us this year, because we're pretty fit as a squad now. We haven't got too many injuries, not too many guys unavailable, and it means really week by week the whole squad are preparing for something tangible. And obviously the guys who've been outside the 23 played really well last weekend in the semi-final of the A-League. We'll put a strong team out this Monday in the final. There'll be a great day here, a sellout crowd on Sunday, and bank holiday Monday, an A-League final. We'll probably get 4,000 or 5,000 people here on Monday. So it's going to be a big weekend for us. But obviously, focusing down onto what we need to really do on the pitch for 80 minutes, 1 o'clock on Sunday, is a lot of what we've talked about this week. And to be fair to the players, they've turned up this week ready to go, ready to train, and to be fair, have been very, very good today. You
talk about in the past that getting to the top 4 was a goal, but knowing you and the group as a whole, you want more than that now, don't you?
Well, that's right. I mean, I think you have to be realistic about the steps you take. But the truth is, that doesn't mean as a club and as a team we don't want to win the Premiership. You start the season out, and obviously you put aims out there. And we've talked for a couple of years now that our aim is to cement ourselves as a top 6 side, because we want the top European competition. I think it's a really good goal to aim for, because the teams that are in and around the top 6, by putting consistent seasons together, you're not far off fighting for the top 4, and you can see how the results of our consistency this year, with good consistent performances at home, making sure we've beaten the teams below us in the league away from home, so not going to Newcastle and losing, and not going to London Irish and losing, not going to Worcester and losing, that those games we've put the scores in and we've made them happen, and that consistency of performance has driven us into the top 4. We're in the top 4 with 2 games of the season left. That's pretty good going. But we should want more than that. Once you tick off the top 6, you've got to want more. Once you tick off the top 4, you've got to want more. Now we're sitting. I'm not afraid to say we want a home semi-final. I'm not afraid to say that we want a home semi-final and we want to win the Premiership. Why not? We're 2 games away from being the Premiership champions, regardless of what happens in the next 2 weeks. So let's start talking like it, and let's start feeling like it, and let's start challenging ourselves and putting a little bit of pressure on ourselves to deliver.
And you talk about this place being a big factor, like you say, a home semi-final will be huge, but this Sunday will be just as huge, wouldn't it? And the crowd have got their part to play.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we're getting sellout crowds pretty regularly now, and for the right reasons, because the team deserve the support they're getting. I'm very aware. It's a two-way street. You only build support by the quality of the performances you put on the field, and by the emotion the players show, and they show how much it means to them. And we've done that really well over a number of years, and we're building a crowd now that understand that and buy into it and want to be here at the weekends. And the two are thriving on it together, and that's what we've got to focus on this weekend. We've got to focus on this game being, yes, it potentially helps us get a home semi-final, but also it's potentially our last home game of a very good season in front of a very good set of supporters, and we should want to win it because it's a Premiership game. It's a precious thing, and we've got to show people it means a lot to us.